Chrisean Rock, Blueface, and they're the center of a lot of activity. You'll discover why people are worried, why tempers are flying, and why this is more than just celebrity drama, regardless of whether you've been following along from the start or just now getting caught up. At the center of this very real story is a youngster. Even before Chrisean gave birth to her kid in September 2023, there was a lot of tension. After their pregnancy was made public through viral videos and court appearances that had everyone talking on Instagram, what had started out as doubt and anxiety turned into a full-blown panic. People weren't just guessing. They were truly terrified. Of what might happen to this baby, the chaos persisted. And by the time he arrived, the noise level was still high. The volume increased. Hold on a second. If you are settling in for this roller coaster, you are already familiar with the process. Grab a snack and settle in. If you would like to improve the experience, you may also try our snacks. Go to WW for Applewood smoked bacon jerky, butter toffee peanuts, and freeze-dried sweets. Alright, let's get back to our conversation since there is a lot to unpack. This story is based on a long and turbulent relationship. Chrisean as well. As Blueface has been sporadically active for many years. He already has 2 children with his former partners, Jade and Alexis. There were times when the drama among the women turned ugly. There was the well-known front tooth incident. Then Chrisean appeared with a fresh tooth emblazoned with Blueface's image. It was messy, constantly moving, and blatantly public. Some thought the pivotal moment would come when Chrisean revealed she was pregnant. There might be fewer altercations. Maybe the chaos would simmer. A baby could resolve the problem. However, if anything, the attention received more severe. On social media, Blueface claimed that Chrisean had consumed alcohol during her pregnancy. He asserted that she was addicted to alcohol and warned that the infant would instantly return to her old habits once she entered the world. The remarks made by media personalities stoked the fire. According to DJ Academic's on-camera accusations, she was smoking and visibly pregnant when she faced him on a call. Films from Chrissy's reality show with Blueface and other films that showed her drinking and smoking during her pregnancy also went viral. People on the internet went into full panic mode and begged for anyone's assistance. People were more than just clutching pearls. They were listing the risks. You'll see why so many people were terrified if you've spent time with medical professionals. The worst impacts of prenatal alcohol use include fetal alcohol spectrum disorders, which can include low birth weight, developmental delays, learning and behavioral issues, and long-term neurological repercussions. The remarks were critical. Some accused her of being self-centered. Some believed she shouldn't have been pregnant in the first place because of the volatility in her life at the time. Of course, some people also thought the internet should be left alone, but the concern was not waning. Then the baby was born. Chrisean live-streamed the birth of her child on September 3, 2023. It was sincere, honest, and immediately went viral. A lot of people were moved. Some say it ought to have been private. Meanwhile, Blueface was spotted having a good time in Miami. She hadn't even invited him to the hospital. Chrisean later said she declared on social media that she would fiercely protect her son and keep odd, unsupportive people away from him. Matt's attitude increased the number of supporters, but it also opened up new avenues for growth. Detractors clapped back, but from what danger was he being shielded? Since it seems that the house is currently the source of the threat. Blueface's mother, Carlos, is then perplexed. Went live and a commenter named Chrisean said he didn't want the baby anymore and so didn't need to be there when it was delivered. In essence, she advised Chrisean to keep his distance in order to protect Jaden and told him that he would have to face the consequences of being with someone who was already a parent. That infuriated many viewers, who wanted to know why a grandma was making news in public instead of promoting amicable family strife in real time online. Blueface accused Chrisean of being egocentric 2 days after the kid was delivered. If he didn't take parenthood seriously and make major changes. For at least 30 days, he would go to court to request custody. Chrisean kept custody, but the peace was lost. She took her days-old son to a recording studio and shared a photo of him snuggled up with tiny headphones on. She was completely destroyed by the internet. Commenters said that the environment was hazardous for a newborn. She defended him by saying he was comfortable and safe. The thing is this. For a newborn, the first few weeks are crucial. Their immune systems are practically non-existent. They struggle to regulate their body temperature, and they are easily overstimulated by light and noise. Many experts therefore suggest that a newborn be kept in private, controlled environments. After giving birth, the mother's body undergoes a prolonged period of vigorous healing. You're more prone to health problems as a result of your hormone changes. Therefore, not every comment that sounded the alarm was being dramatic. Some were making a real effort to issue a warning. Then came the Walmart moment. Chrissy was seen on TMZ cameras placing her son in a car seat without raising his neck. His head hung back as he slept. It was the kind of video that goes viral very quickly and becomes quite popular. She responded live, saying that people would aid her in real life and that she was stressed trying to juggle too much, rather than recording every time she stumbled. She also said that the father of the child was not helping her. She didn't understand his criticism of her managerial approach. Days are hurried to hurried. Meanwhile, Blueface did something that nearly everyone thought was excessive. He pointed out a medical problem by sharing a photo of the baby's privates, and he demanded that she fix it. On the internet, he received criticism for it, implying that it was entirely inappropriate and possibly illegal to discuss a child's delicate medical issue in that manner. Chrissy subsequently stated that the issue, a hernia, required surgery to resolve. Posting the child's body online was never going to solve that, but the onlookers persisted. Based on pictures and videos, several individuals started speculating about the baby's possible fetal alcohol syndrome, pointing to his facial features and trying to pass for online medical professionals. Chrissy countered that her son was in good health and that the actual doctors would have told her if there were any problems. In that last comment, she was right. Very rarely is the diagnosis section used. The public sphere, however, did not appear overnight. The way the pregnancy had progressed had terrified them. Even without a diagnosis, the worry remained. Loud, relentless, a dot. At that point, the crowd started to split in a different way. Some strangers were so concerned that they created a petition called Protect the Innocent to demand that Child Protective Services get involved. Some felt that the internet was going too far and that bringing in CPS would only make things worse. Then, in December 2023, the situation deteriorated. Further, numerous posts and testimonies claim that Blueface and Jaden paid visits to Christians. Hal tried to grab the baby when he was there in the morning. He said she left him to attend a party with a friend. She disputed that he had abused her friend and driven off carelessly with the baby, even smashing the car while their kid was inside. The stories did not fit together. Panic, doubt, and accusations were all mingled, and again, a baby in the middle. The legal issues got worse as 2024 approached. After being caught for violating his probation, Blueface ended up spending some time in jail. According to TMZ and other sources, she and Chrissy were taken into custody in June 2024 on an unfulfilled warrant. This suggested that one parent was no longer involved and that, depending on your perspective, the other parent was attempting to hold it down or keep it together. According to reports, Child Services stepped in and temporarily removed the baby from her care. Although official, the child's placement information was kept private. For several months, he was totally unnoticeable on the internet. Many people welcomed Chrissy's decision to keep him off the internet until she returned in September 2024, even though it didn't ease the ongoing concerns about what was happening in the distance. By mid-2025, there were reportedly increased calls to CPS. Users of the most recent viral video estimated that it was around 3 in the morning, and claimed to show a toddler sitting alone in a stroller on a beach late at night. The context was not really clear. It was a brief video. It wasn't indignant. Responses flooded in again, with some urging everyone to withdraw from a family tragedy, others requesting sympathy, and yet others requesting help. They will never fully understand from a dot on the screen. Consequently, what happens to as a child growing up in such a volatile environment? After the clamor fades, that is the question that still needs to be answered. There is more to early life than just cute photos and little shoes. It is a component of the wiring of the brain. Children form their basic beliefs about safety, love, and the regularity of the world during the early years. A person's sense of security is influenced by calm routines, regular care, and emotionally present caregivers. For persistent stress, uncertainty, and public humiliation, the opposite is true. Sleep issues, delayed development, and behavioral issues are some of the symptoms they could leave behind. Tantrums and difficulties forming relationships of bonding. When the adults chose chaos over order, the child invariably attacks. This does not imply that the story is finished or that a change of direction is not possible. Many families have overcome adversity if they receive the right support. But what does support actually look like? Let's face it. Followers are not encouraging the next viral video. The routines are loving, repetitive, and monotonous. There's always a stable, sober adult in the house. Pediatrician visits are continued, and if there are development help-ins, and a whole community of people who are there in person instead of only in the comments. This postpartum mental health care is proactive rather than waiting until everything is on fire. It includes family therapy, establishing boundaries online, and being prepared to do things that may not seem cool but are important, including turning off the camera when the baby cries, staying at home while your body heals, and asking for help without feeling ashamed. Here, there is also more talk about accountability and compassion. People on the internet love villains. It also takes pleasure in correcting others by offering them counsel that would make even the strongest individuals blush. But this isn't a boxing match. It's the formative years of a baby. As a parent, accountability is crucial. The needs of your child cannot be disregarded. However, empathy is also crucial, especially when overwhelm is evident. Avoiding disclosing the child's private moments is the finest thing anyone can do while they're watching. Give up speculating about diseases you are unable to diagnose and support remedies that prioritize the stability and safety of the parents over spectacles. It's a simple but challenging decision. If you truly care about protecting your child, you must act in a way that aligns with the caption. This implies fewer live streams and more appointments, fewer late nights and more sleep routines, and fewer public conflicts and more private repairs. When discussing substance misuse, real therapy should be discussed rather than just making promises. Treatment cannot be a joke if there is unresolved trauma and co-parenting appears impossible. Until everyone is well enough to cooperate, a legal framework and highly monitored interactions might be necessary. It isn't at all glamorous, it's all love. Let's talk about the role of the audience while we're here. Everyone has seen firsthand how a camera can turn around a downturn in the economy. Sharing a sensitive video might place a child who never wanted attention in a permanent digital shadow, even though it could seem like a method to raise awareness. The most successful projects don't always seem to go viral. If you don't give them specific, helpful information for professionals who can help, they might occasionally seem to be minding your business. They might seem to be avoiding content that exploits youngsters. Sometimes they could show up as empathy and boundaries. You might wonder what will happen next. The choices made off camera are what actually make the difference. This is a warning to the adults if there are no more rumors. A child who is allowed to be a child, more stability, fewer scandals, and a new beginning are all possibilities. If the cycle continues, more agencies will become involved. More court dates will be issued, and the internet will make up the story for them. The cameras don't have to be the main attraction here. The health of the infant also does. If you have followed this story from the beginning, you know that there have been tender moments. It's clear that both parents love their child very much. Unstructured love is chaos, yet love is the foundation. In addition to love, when there is no accountability, noise results. At that moment, the transition from raucous to steady love must take place. He's asleep, from staring at me to starring. At him, he's safe. He's doing all right. You may be triggered by this story since it may be a reflection of your own experiences. This is your reminder. It is the outcome of modest, unglamorous decisions. Put the baby to sleep when the time is right. Don't forget to attend the upcoming appointment. Ask the nurse the question you're scared to ask. Allow the helpful friend to carry out their assigned task. If you're having trouble with substance use or postpartum emotions, call a local hotline or speak with a licensed expert. Even the strongest parents are not perfect. They are resourceful. At the end of the day, who wins the argument or who posts the best clapback is unrelated to this. It's about a young man who didn't ask for all of this and deserves a calm, loving childhood. He should be fed without commentary, held without cameras, and protected without a show. He is worthy of adults who constantly place him ahead of the occasion, ... so this is where I land. The reality is quiet, but the drama is loud. The diaper bag was extremely full the night before. In fact, a phone is put face down before sleeping. The truth can be demonstrated by being sober, attending appointments, apologizing for mistakes, and trying again the following day. In actuality, a child can rest well knowing that his loved ones are more important than the internet, no matter how vast it grows. If there is a turning point in the plot, this should be it. Less show, more sanctuary. Because the boldest plot twist of all is choosing stability in a world that thrives on chaos.